Hey, data explorers! If you have ever packed a suitcase with identical spare shirts, you know that more items do not always mean more variety. In machine learning, we often add feature columns hoping for a richer signal. But what happens when our new features are just clever disguises for information we already have? This subtle trap can quietly break our algorithms. But here's what nobody tells you about how algorithms see this extra data. Today, we discover how to mathematically test if our data is truly unique, or just redundant columns wearing new names. Let us find out how vectors reveal this hidden truth. To understand redundancy, let us look at vectors in a grid. Imagine two vectors pointing in different directions. Together, they can steer us to any point on this flat two-dimensional plane. Now, what if we introduce a third vector? Most explanations stop here, but we need to see exactly where it lands. This new vector already lies flat on that same plane. It does not help us reach any new territory. It is completely redundant because we could already reach its tip using our first two vectors. Think of our vectors as paths carved by an explorer. Path A and Path B open up a wide valley of reachable destinations. But if Path C merely retraces a combination of those exact same steps, it fails to claim any new territory for our map. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What if we change its direction? In linear algebra, we say this third path is linearly dependent on the first two. It adds zero new dimensions to our journey. A common trap is assuming that if vectors do not look parallel, they must be independent. But look at this third vector. It points in a completely different direction than the other two, yet it is still perfectly redundant. Most tutorials skip this part, but we must understand the underlying math. Why? Because it still lies entirely within the flat span of the first two. It is a combination of them, meaning it offers no new spatial directions. To break free from this flat constraint, we must introduce a vector that points in a brand new direction. Watch as this third vector lifts off the flat plane and shoots upward into the third dimension. Now, our three vectors can span a full three-dimensional volume. But here's the part that changes how you think about dimensions. Because this new vector cannot be created by any combination of the first two, we say this set is linearly independent. We have successfully unlocked a brand new direction of travel. How do we test for this independence without drawing three-dimensional graphs every time? To do this, we use the algebraic zero test. We write an equation where we scale our vectors and add them together to equal the zero vector. If this equation holds, something very specific must happen to our scalars. If the only possible way to make them sum to zero is to set every single scalar to zero, then our vectors are truly independent. Let us look at why this zero-sum condition is so powerful. To see why this works, let us visualize what happens when scalars are not zero. If we can scale our vectors and chain them tip to tail to form a perfect closed loop that returns to the origin, they are dependent. This loop means one vector is just a detour along the path already created by the others. Now, consider what happens if we try to break this loop. It is redundant because we can always express any vector in the loop as a combination of the remaining ones. This geometric loop is the ultimate visual proof of dependence. Let us work through a concrete example. Suppose we have vector phi 1, which is 1, 2, and vector phi 2, which is 3 and 1. To test their independence, we set up our equation. If we solve the system, we find a very clean result. By solving the system, we find that the only way to get zero is if both scalars are exactly zero. This mathematically proves that our two vectors are linearly independent. But what if our vectors were 1, 2, and 2, 4? When we set up the same equation, we quickly discover that we do not need zero scalars. Because they are related, we can simply scale the first vector by -2 and then add it to the second to get 0. If we look closely at their relationship, a simple pattern emerges. Because we found a non-zero solution, the math flags these vectors as linearly dependent. They are pointing along the exact same line, offering no new directions. As our datasets grow, testing vectors one by one becomes impossible. To solve this, we stack our vectors as columns inside a matrix. By using matrix operations like row reduction, we can instantly spot redundancy. If a matrix has redundant columns, a very specific transformation occurs. Any column that collapses to all zeros during this process represents a redundant vector that we can safely remove. This matrix view is how modern software cleans up messy data. In statistics, this redundancy is called multicollinearity. When two features are nearly dependent, our model cannot decide which one is actually driving the outcome. This confusion causes the model's coefficients to swing wildly with tiny changes in data. If you want to build robust algorithms, you must address this instability. By ensuring linear independence, we stabilize our models and guarantee reliable predictions. It is the difference between a shaky guess and a solid model. While we can only visualize up to 3 dimensions, the mathematics of linear independence scales to 4, 10, or even thousands of dimensions. No matter the size of the space, the rule remains identical. But what if we have more vectors than we have dimensions in our space? If you have a theory about this dimensional limit, the comment section is exactly where it belongs. A new vector is independent if and only if it cannot be written as a combination of the existing ones. This simple rule holds true across the entire mathematical universe. Here is a fundamental rule of spatial geometry. You can never have more independent vectors than the number of dimensions in your space. In a flat two-dimensional plane, any set of 3 vectors is guaranteed to be dependent. The third vector simply has no room to point in a new independent direction. Now, let us look at what happens when we apply this limit to higher dimensions. This ceiling exists because each independent vector must claim a brand new dimension. Once the dimensions are full, any extra vector is instantly redundant. While independent vectors only need to not overlap, the gold standard is when they are completely perpendicular or orthogonal. Orthogonal vectors share absolutely zero projection with each other. In data science, this means our features are completely uncorrelated, providing the cleanest, most efficient signals possible. But here's a detail that most standard textbooks gloss over. This perfect independence makes calculations incredibly fast and numerically stable. It is the ideal state we always strive for in our data. Here's a curious mathematical rule. Any set of vectors that contains the zero vector is automatically dependent. Why? Because we can scale the zero vector by any number we want, while keeping all other scalars at 0 to get a zero sum. If we think about its physical meaning, the reason becomes very intuitive. The zero vector is the ultimate redundant element, adding nothing to our span. It represents standing completely still, which claims no new territory. In the real world, we use an algorithm called Principal Component Analysis, or PCA, to enforce independence. PCA takes a messy, redundant data set and rotates the axes to align with the directions of maximum variance. By discarding the directions with little to no variance, we strip away the redundant noise and keep only the pure independent signals. If we look at the resulting data, the improvement is immediate. We are left with a clean, highly efficient representation of our original information. This is how we turn raw, noisy data into mathematical gold. Here's the ultimate convergence. Whether you're an explorer mapping a physical valley, an algebraist solving equations, or a data scientist training neural networks, you are solving the exact same problem. Redundancy in data is geometrically identical to redundancy in space. But here's the single most important takeaway from this entire journey. Linear independence is our formal test to ensure every single vector we track is actively claiming brand new territory. We no longer wander in circles, we only step forward. You now understand linear independence not as a dry algebraic formula, but as the spatial test for unique information. With this mental model, you can confidently strip away redundant noise and find the true directions of your data. Next, we will use these independent vectors as the absolute minimal building blocks to construct entire spaces as we explore basis and dimension. Subscribe to join us for that next breakthrough.